Episode 51, Odd G's podcast, Super Bowl edition with H. Mays, Jason Martinez, and we're going to go down the shore, Harry. Actually, not. We're going to go
No, we're not going to the shore. We're going to Arizona, you dope.
I know. Mike Gill's out there. He's one of those Radio Row honks, too.
Oh, he loves Radio Row, man. He loves it almost as much as Tony Bruno.
Anything to get out of the studio for these guys.
Exactly. I mean, Anthony was so desperate to get there, he drove a car.
Yeah, that's. I'll be honest with you. That's the most absurd thing on so many levels. First of all, being in a car with Anthony day in, day out on
for 4 days.
Oh, my God.
4 days. I could have gotten there in a day and a half.
Speed it up, Bo.
Yeah, exactly.
We there yet, Bo? You see him in the back like a little kid.
Oh, my God.
Are we there yet, Dad? What do you say, Bo?
No, but I haven't listened to any pregame stuff, any Radio Row stuff the entire week. I haven't watched any sports television outside of actual games. Yes.
Why is that? Is this
because I just don't need it?
Yeah.
I don't need it.
You've seen it enough.
I have. I put in my picks and my bets and all this stuff. And, I got Kansas City. I teased them up when it was 2.5. When the line was 2.5 in favor of the Eagles, I took Kansas City up 6.5 points.
Wow.
So at +9.
Yep.
And then I took the total down 6.5 points. So I got it at 44 and I took the over. So I have a teaser there. And then I took the Eagles on the money line just to win the game. So I have a nice little window there.
It's called a tweener, Harry.
Exactly right. So I'm hoping to hit both ends.
Yeah.
The Eagles win by less than, 8 points, 9 points.
Yeah. I mean, look, everybody wants the Eagles to win here.
Yeah.
Winning in a close game against a great quarterback and a great coach is exciting.
Exactly. I want a great Super Bowl. That's what I want. Yeah.
Because these playoffs haven't delivered as far as intensity goes. Fingernail biting to the end.
No, I mean, I thought the Eagles Niners game would have been great had, Purdy not been taken out of the game in the first quarter. But yeah, I mean, these Eagles games have been snoozers. I mean, they gave up 14 points total, I think, in the two games.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they kicked the shit out of both teams.
Right. And the Giants really weren't a playoff team.
No,
in my view. I mean,
it's still hard to beat a team 3 times in one season, but still. I mean, according to the San Francisco 49ers and a large swath of their fan base, Harry, had Brock Purdy not gotten hurt, they would have beat the Eagles by 2 touchdowns.
Is that right?
Well, that's what they're saying.
I don't know about that. I mean, that's easy to say now in hindsight that you got your asses kicked. But
Christian McCaffrey also said, Harry, that the NFL rule that to not be able to carry a third quarterback prevented them from going to the Super Bowl.
Well,
Eagles
they had a third
31 on their D.
They had a third quarterback. He stunk.
Yes.
I mean, they put a quarterback into the game.
Yep.
It's Josh Johnson, who I still can't figure out how he's survived in the league for 13 years because he stinks.
Yeah. Well, you got to have like a third or fourth body, I guess.
Yeah.
And
who would that be? I mean, really,
you're going down another rung on the depth chart.
Exactly.
You're not getting Brett Favre in his prime as your
right. I mean, they had quarterbacks on the roster, but they're all hurt.
And frankly, Christian McCaffrey would have been a better option at quarterback than whoever they had.
He might have been. Yeah, he might have been. Just run Wildcat with him for, and have an extra blocker in there.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And just not fumble.
Right.
I mean, these 49er fans are now going to Minnesota Viking fan skull territory.
I know. Why does that always happen with us?
Because it's Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And they just can't stand to see us fucking happy.
Right.
Now, we're not happy. That's what they don't realize.
They
don't realize we're not happy.
Right. That's the point. Yeah. But I'm anxious to talk to Gil, 97.3 ESPN down in Atlantic City out at Radio Row, because I want to get the flavor of what it's been like with the invasion of Eagle fans into the desert.
Yeah.
I want to
a lot of holes dug, Harry.
You think so?
Take them out to the desert.
Yeah.
Let's tell the people about Wealth Advisors here first before we get into some picks and all that stuff.
You can take your winnings from the Super Bowl on Monday and go down to Wealth Advisory Services and invested. If you don't know them, you should. Paul, Dave, and their entire team have over 100 years of first-class service working with all different levels of investors across the USA. And there's something more powerful than luck or just coincidence that will bring financial independence. It's called planning. And as professionals dedicated to continuing education with high standard of ethics, they leave nothing to chance at Wealth Advisory Services. They're going to coordinate with other trusted professionals to ensure seamless management of all your assets with services ranging from portfolio management, insurance, tax, estate, retirement planning, and beyond. They're in Bucks County, PA, and Cape May, New Jersey. WealthAdvisoryServices.com, a personalized approach to managing your wealth.
Yeah. And Harry, would they have advised me to make an investment for the OGs podcast show? Because I did yesterday.
You did.
Now I had to go to the pro shop at the barn yesterday.
Which barn?
Iceline.
Okay.
Because I had to pick up a new jock strap for my son. Not a jock. It's like a pair of shorts, like spandex shorts.
Oh.
And it's got like Velcro on it to hold your hockey socks up, and it's got a built-in cup.
Oh, okay.
Because this other one, like, it tore under the bottom and it was moving around and chafing his bag probably.
Oh, jeez.
So I'm in there and I see this shirt and I say, I got to buy that shirt, but this is strictly a business expense for the OGs podcast.
So you're writing it off?
Oh, without question.
How much was it? Oh,
it's a coho. and the only reason I got it is for exactly that right there. The reaction I get from you.
It's the only kind of hoe you know.
Yeah.
It's a coho.
Jeez, exactly. I'm going to go hump a stick.
A twig. A twig. It's a twig.
It's the only hoe you know. Oh, that's so classic.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I thought it was a wise investment.
It's a nice shirt.
Yeah. Oh, it's comfortable too. It's got that beautiful cotton.
But isn't that a violation of your CCM deal?
No, Coho's not. I don't have the deal anymore with CCM.
Oh, you don't?
No, my social media influencer deal with CCM Hockey has ended, Harry.
Really? Now, is that an indication of where CCM thinks the Flyers are in the pantheon of social media right now?
That's a good point because
I don't know.
I mean, Carter doesn't even wear CCM anymore, Harry.
Oh, really?
Yeah. How about them last night? They go out last night. The top scoring team in the National Hockey League,
Edmonton,
Steve Coates likes to say.
Yeah.
And the best offensive player since Mario Lemieux,
Connor McDavid.
They hold him to an assist, Harry.
Wow, an apple.
2-1 in a shootout.
In the shootout. Now,
think about Connor McDavid in a 3-on-3.
Yeah, right.
Like so much ice out there.
Right.
Hart snapped him on a glove save and late in that overtime. Then they go to a shootout where the Flyers historically blow.
Right.
And there's three shooters are Connor McDavid, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, both number 1 overall picks, and Leon Draisaitl.
Oh, Draisaitl. Love him.
The German, Harry.
Right.
And then the Flyers throw out TK, Morgan Frost, and James Van Riemsdyk, and the Flyers win the shootout.
Wow. So they stoned McDavid on the shootout too?
He didn't even get a shot off.
Wow. So it's sort of like G. Remember G in the shootouts? He was awful because he'd always hold on to the puck right up until he's in front of the goaltender.
You get too tight. He was really good for years because he had this move, this backhand cheese move.
Uh-huh.
And then they were playing, I think, the Islanders in a shootout like 2 years ago, and he just came in because he was really struggling in it.
Uh-huh.
And he came in and right between the hash marks, just loaded up a clapper and bombed it. No, it was Toronto. Bombed it by Freddie Anderson. So I sent him a text and I go, a clapper from the hash in the shootout? And he just sent back like a smiling emoji. I go, well done.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Clapper.
That's what you got to do. You got to resort to the clapper.
Absolutely. But it was fun there last night. It was like, this is a great sports weekend. And I imagine the other part for you, Harry,
yeah,
it's been beautiful out.
Oh, I know. I played golf a couple times already this week. I'm going out again today. It's going to be like 60. It's crazy.
Bizarre.
I love it.
Yeah.
This is my kind of winter.
Yeah, I got to tell you, it does feel good. Like you walk outside, just like, wow, this is kind of balmy out here. And even at night,
I know.
It's been really nice.
Haven't had any trouble sleeping. I can tell you that.
Mm-mm.
You know, But if you're having trouble getting enough sleep at night, Som Sleep has you covered. The scientifically advanced Som Stack includes ingredients naturally found in your body like GABA, magnesium, and melatonin. Sleep, of course, is the best form of recovery. It's helped NFL founder and NFL tight end Colin Thompson take his game to the next level. It's simple. All you got to do is drink one serving just 30 minutes before bed, and your body will naturally calm itself down. Other sleep supplements, they're going to leave you groggy in the morning, but not Som Sleep. You'll wake up feeling refreshed and ready to conquer the day. Make sure you check them out at getsom.com and use the code GEEZ, Jeez, for 10% off your order.
There you go. Let's go, Harry, from the balmy Delaware Valley to the desert, where it's the dry heat.
Yeah, no, they had frost yesterday morning because the golf was delayed like an hour and 45 minutes because of a frost warning on the desert.
On the desert, it's probably nicer here for golf conditions than it is there.
It might be.
Let's go to the host of the Sports Bash, Harry, on ESPN down in Atlantic City, 97.3. He is the man, Mike Gill. Mike, what's going on?
I am the man, Jason. I am the man.
Oh, wait a second. That connection is not the man, though.
Yeah, you sound like you got a thumb over the microphone.
Yeah, you sound like you're underwater.
I left my laptop on Radio Row. So
jeez. Are you serious?
Hustle up, go get it. We'll join us when you get now.
I thought you'd be on Radio Row. You're supposed to be gripping and grinning over there before your show.
8 o'clock in the morning out here, huh?
I know. Tony Bruno's over there.
You follow me, man.
I had a good conversation with Tony Bruno on Wednesday.
Is he out there just full blown yucking it up, Mike?
Yeah, I said, I don't know what age Bruno is at this point, but I said, how are you still doing this, man? You're walking up and down Radio Row looking for handlers who have people. I'm like, what are you doing?
Is there something over the microphone on your phone?
No, I have an earbud in. You want me to take it out?
Yeah, take that out.
Oh my God.
These earbuds, Harry.
Hold on a second.
Oh, way better.
There we go.
Now we got you.
You hear me better?
Yeah, you don't sound like you're 200 leagues.
I can't hear you at all.
You've
Is
only
this
been
live?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are we live here?
He's been in radio for 30 years.
I can't hear you. Hold on a second.
He's got to change his
Let me
settings.
detach my Bluetooth here.
This is the only connection that's worse than Mike Kearns.
Yeah.
This makes Mike.
I like the fact that I'm giving you good material right now. By the way,
you're not.
Mike Kearns' internet laughs at this segment here.
Yeah.
Sorry. How's this?
That's
much better.
Okay.
All
don't look any better, but it sounds better.
I know. I said I left my laptop in the bag because you guys will appreciate this. After the show was over last night, I went down and had a couple of beers, a couple IPAs.
Oh, there you go.
And I left my bag. I didn't want to bring the bag to the bar with me, so I left the bag with my laptop down on Radio Row.
Have you found Harry's bag?
Yeah, it was right next to Robin had it.
I hope that's not like Hunter Biden's laptop and it's going to end up in some place in Delaware.
Congressional hearings, Harry.
On
Mike Gill's laptop.
My laptop has got all the information you need on it, man. It's hanging out at Radio Row with everybody who went to the NFL store last night, put all their stuff under my table.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's a pretty nice setup down here. But Harry, you were in Miami with us, right? Or Atlanta?
And Atlanta, yeah.
Atlanta. Harry and I went to the College Football Hall of Fame. Made an educational trip.
Right.
That's awesome.
And now they keep sending me emails every 2 weeks.
To what? The College Football Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
You're in the funnel, Harry.
Yeah.
Don't they realize they already got you?
I know. I know.
You don't need to market to Harry.
We went to the College Football Hall of Fame like between breaks or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It was short, but we walked through real fast. And they got a lot of stuff going on. The people are starting to come in town now. Last night the town was filling up. You ever been to Phoenix?
No, I have not yet.
This is the first time I've been here. Let me tell you, I have never had chapped lips in my life. People putting on freaking chapstick all the time. I have the worst chapped lips. The air is so dry out here. When they tell you dry air, you're like, what the hell does that even mean? My lips, they're horrible right now.
Sometimes it could bother your nose too.
Haven't had that problem yet, but
a lot of people get sinus problems when they go out there.
Cool town. I like it, man. Kevin Durant was walking down the street last night. Yo, I got traded to the Suns. He's all cool now.
Is that right?
Traded there just because the Super Bowl's there this week.
Yeah, right. So when we were in Miami, I went to the Heat Celtics game at the FTX Center. Right. That's right. The crypto stuff. But they're not here right now, so they're out. But yesterday, I'm on the air. The freaking trade deadline's going on. Gronk was sitting next to me as this is happening. So Gronk is like literally like a foot from me. And the trade deadline's happening, stuff going. Stephen A. Smith was doing an interview at the table next to me. The people around Stephen A. Smith, it was like you would have thought it was ridiculous. And then Shannon Sharp was on the other side. Mm-hmm. So you can see that Stephen A. Smith's show has a little better following than Shannon Sharp's show.
Bit. That's undisputed, by the way, that Stephen A. has a bigger following than Shannon Sharp.
Yes. So they were doing interviews, competing at like the same time. And here I am in the middle trying to figure out like who Matisse Thybulle got traded for.
You remember when Matisse Thybulle was untouchable with the Sixers fan base? You can't put him in a trade.
Yeah.
And so I had Tim Legler on at 3:00 yesterday, and
Legs.
I said, what do you think I said, what do you think of the Thybulle trade? He goes, I'm sorry, I don't even know who he got traded for. And at the point, I didn't know who Thybulle got traded for. So I'm like, I'm trying to find it. But
Jalen McDaniels.
Jalen McDaniels. Who, by the way,
not Josh McDaniels.
Who, by the way, is a worse 3-point shooter percentage-wise than Thybulle is.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
right?
Anthony's rhetoric on Thybulle was, he's a stone-cold defender. Unreal. And the Eagles fans, like you said, like they're coming in now. Like we know, Mike, that Eagle fans travel. I mean, they would travel to Neptune to watch this team.
Right.
Yeah.
You go a place like Phoenix in Arizona, I imagine they're pouring in there now, and it's going to get really sloppy in Arizona real quick.
Yeah. My flight, I was Jeff Mosher was on my flight with me. He said he actually, he was staying with us because he had no place to stay. I brought him in.
Wait a second.
Taking in strays?
Mosher goes out to the Super Bowl and doesn't have a place to stay?
He was supposed to stay with Adam Kaplan, apparently, and the room in the hotel only had a king-size bed.
That's like when we went to Atlanta and Eitan and I were in the same place. Kraus booked it. It was like an Airbnb setup, and it was a king-size bed, and I made Eitan sleep on the couch.
Well, Mosher's in the airport, and I said, well, where are you staying? He said, I don't know. Well, we had an extra spot for him here. I said, well, you can stay at he literally just left like 5 minutes ago. He's heading down there. Yeah. So
I don't get on that plane if I don't have a place to stay.
Well, he thought he did. But when they got to the room, the bed was a king-size bed for 2 guys. So he's like, I'm not staying here.
Dude, they should have done the podcast together in the bed.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
And what did they do? Play Rochambeau to see who gets the bed?
Kaplan got down here first and got to the room and then told Mosher, hey, there's only a king-size bed. So Mosher's at the airport like, I don't have any place to go. I said, well, I have an extra room in our Airbnb if you want to stay with us. Wow. So he texts me on the plane, I'm going to take you up on that offer. I was like, what is your other alternative right now?
Exactly. What would he have done had you not been there?
Bought a 10 at Dick's?
He had a buddy of his, I guess, that lives down here, but it was like, 45 minutes from where our Airbnb, we can walk to Radio Row. It's like 5 minutes.
Is that right?
If I open the door out here right now, you can see Chase Field. It's like we're right in the downtown.
Oh, okay. So awesome. Where is the Radio Row? Where is that?
It's at the Phoenix Convention Center, and that is like literally if you walk straight up, I'm learning the street now, 2nd Street, the Footprint Arena, which is where the Suns play, is right there, and then next door to it, like 2 blocks down, is Chase Field, where the Diamondbacks play.
Yeah, because the
Yep.
hockey team, right, Jason, playing in like a 5,000 seat arena at Arizona
They're at-
State, right?
Yeah, they're at the college at for NHL ice rinks. It's 4,600.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
4,600 maximum capacity because they have to build a bunch of infrastructure in there to make it NHL compliant. They used to play at that Hilo River Arena down there.
Yeah, 5,000 people because Scott Grayson from Fox 29, he's with us, and he went to Arizona State. So we have a little lay of the land.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a good hockey school, actually. It's a really good program. You wouldn't think it would be a D1 team, but it is.
Grayson was telling us when he got to college there, I mean, this is like the 90s, but he said it was like a club team that they were like trying, and now it's to the point that it's hosting an NHL team.
Yeah.
How far the NHL has fallen that it's hosting a team in a college arena.
Wow.
Disgrace. They should be they should not be in the revenue share, I think, as a result of that, to be honest with you.
What are they building a new place or something?
Yeah, I mean, they've been talking about this for years. Get a fucking shovel in the ground and let's go.
They should move them to Canada.
Quebec,
a shovel in the ground.
Yeah,
I saw a shovel in the ground in Atlantic City for the ShopRite, and that never happened either. So the shovel in the ground don't mean anything.
Yeah, put them in Saskatoon, huh?
Exactly right. Hamilton, Ontario, or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take one of those Alaskan cruises.
Mike, you're getting to see out there. I mean, to me, this is the ultimate display of the power of a sports league on steroids at its finest. And that's not, a shot at steroids, but, you look at the NFL, 95 of the top 100 shows again last year in the U.S. This is an absolute monster, this league.
I literally was talking. I said, who is in charge of credentialing all these people? Like, this Radio Row is a spectacle, man. Like, people, you could, whatever it is, it's like, this guy's here, that guy's here. You're just constantly like, your head is just turned. I said, who's in charge of credentialing? Everybody there has to have a credential. Like, I got an email. I had to get Brian Mitchell a credential the other day. Like, hey, can you get him a day pass? And it's like, who is getting all these emails and keeping them all?
Right.
And that's just on radio.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And that's just on Radio Row. It's like when I left last night. Now, keep in mind, my show in Atlantic City is 2 to 6. Here, it's 12 to 4. At 4 o'clock, I'm done, and I walk outside. It's great, by the way. 4 o'clock's a great time to get done.
Yeah.
I go outside, and the streets are just packed with people. And you're like, this is unbelievable. Like, this event. And you know what's funny? See a lot of like 49ers jerseys, and like, cause people must have just bought tickets to like, I was on the bus at the airport in Philly, and the lady on the bus was like, this is my 22nd Super Bowl. She just goes to Super Bowls.
Wow.
Like, she's a Ravens fan, no ties to anything, just likes to go. People just love going to these events and like seeing what's happening. So it's like a place to be seen, man. Yeah. I went to Thunder Dan Marley's restaurant when I was down here, and I was having dinner next to me with Sean Merriman.
Oh, yeah.
Lights out, baby.
Right. He went to Maryland.
Sean Merriman. Yes, he's from Maryland. He went to Maryland, played for the Chargers and the
Chargers.
Bills.
Yeah.
So I saw him so my girlfriend makes me watch The Bachelor. Makes me.
Yeah.
So I'm watching The Bachelor on Monday night. I'm coming up the escalator, and he's coming down the escalator, and I saw him. I said, hey, you were on The Bachelor on Monday. He was like the coach of the girls' football team on The Bachelor when they play against each other to get time with the guy on The Bachelor. And he's like, no, I wasn't. I go, dude, I just admitted that I saw you on The Bachelor. Now you're going to like no-sell me on this? He starts cracking up. So I had him on the show with me yesterday. So he had a tremendous pickup at the bar the other night.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah?
Oh, man. He was very coy, man. He was
better than Michael Irvin's pickup, huh?
What happened to him? I heard he got pulled.
Yeah. Apparently some girl like said he was improper or something. I don't know.
It was like a minute-long conversation when he got back from. He said he goes, I really don't remember it because I had a few drinks. But there's like video, I guess, of him having this encounter with this girl at the lobby of his hotel.
Oh, geez.
It's 60 seconds long. What could he have said to her?
It didn't look like he touched her at all. I mean, I don't know, man.
And they sent him packing, Harry.
He was hosting the Monday night thing, wasn't he?
Yeah. I thought he was doing a good job too. By the way, I like Michael Irvin.
I do too.
Yeah, well, we had there's just it's people everywhere. So Pat McAfee, I had a West Virginia shirt on yesterday. You know, you got to wear the logo
Right.
because us West Virginia people, we're always. So Pac-Man Jones came up to me yesterday and gave me a pat on the back because I had the Dub V on.
Nice.
And then McAfee, he was doing a show and he saw me walk by and he gave me a little, bang. So we're trying to get.
Kevin
What's that?
Kincaid. Is Kevin Kincaid out there?
He's not here, but
No.
John Kincaid is here, not Kevin Kincaid, Harry.
But Kevin went to WVU.
Yes, he did. He's a fine mountaineer, but he doesn't like an IPA, so I don't know what's wrong with him.
Wow.
All right.
Is there any other names in your pocket you want to drop?
I know this is unbelievable.
You are like
this is
rolling.
This is more than Bruno ever does.
I don't know. Who else did I see yesterday?
Any hot chicks?
Dude,
Come on.
15s everywhere, Martinez.
Is Paige
Yeah.
Spiranak out there making the rounds?
She is.
She wouldn't even rank here.
No,
No,
really?
really.
Wow.
It's outrageous.
Dime,
man.
dime, huh?
Wow.
Everywhere. It's crazy. I said, man, I've never been to like the country music station or the rock station. Do they have an equivalent of this where like they have like an event where all the radio stations go somewhere? I said, but I can't imagine what it looks like in these places. I said, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Dimes to the left of me, dimes to the right of me. Here I am stuck in the middle with you.
Well,
That's right.
Patrick
Somehow
Mahomes.
I ended up on odd G's. Jeez.
Patrick Mahomes wins the MVP. And I want
By the way, the guy sitting in the radio station in front of me from Albuquerque, he went and played golf with Patrick Mahomes' dad and missed the show yesterday.
is that right?
Yeah. I was like, how does some random dude from Albuquerque know Patrick Mahomes' dad?
Wow.
Word is that Anthony's going to miss the show today because he's having lunch with Spags. Oh, he's already missed the show all week, Harry?
He has. Yeah. Today's, I think, the only day he's going to be on the air. But Mahomes wins the MVP. Do you think that that was the right call? And I got a stat for you as far as MVPs in the Super Bowl that's going to interest you.
Yeah, Mahomes should have won the MVP.
I agree.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean,
I
that
agree.
team, it's the reason why I think the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl is that team, you got Marquez Valdez-Scantling and Juju Smith-Schuster, and
Right.
you have 16 wins. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't you be the MVP?
He lost Hill and had better statistics.
Yeah.
I mean,
41
41 touchdowns, I think, 12 interceptions, threw for
You
over
know-
5,000 yards.
Yeah, I have no problem with him being the MVP. He threw for 41 touchdowns, but did you know, Harry, I have a stat for you, that 30 of his 41 touchdowns were 10 yards or less.
Wow, really? Wow. That's a good number.
So
Interesting.
not a big play offense on Sunday.
No, well, obviously they lose the cheetah. But did you know in the last 9 MVPs in the Super Bowl are 0-9 straight up in the game?
I did not know that. I'll use that today. I'll give
Yeah.
you some credit, Harry.
That's interesting.
Yeah. No, I think that we're not used to having nice things in Philly. We have the nicest thing right now. This is the nicest thing. This Eagles team, they're the nicest. They're the best team. I thought they were going to Rochambeau San Francisco. I didn't think that game would be close. I know Purdy goes out, so it makes it like, wow, they were going to, what do you think? Brock Purdy was going to put a 30 spot up? Come on.
Yeah. Enough with this Brock
The
Purdy
Eagles still
stuff.
would have won the game.
Yeah, I mean they hung 31 on the best defense in the NFL. That's
Yeah.
That's all. People are like, well, they wouldn't have been on the field as much and this and that. I said, dude, they ran the ball down their throats all day long. The Eagles have the best offensive line. Like when we were growing up, we're all about the same age. Well, you guys are older than me, but the Hogs,
Yeah.
they had nicknames for that. The Eagles' offensive line is on that level. Aaron Rodgers, who's sitting in a dark room right now, said this is the best offensive line in the last 20 years. Like,
Yeah.
they're that good. The Eagles' offensive line is that good. We need to come to terms with they made the playoffs last year because of their offensive line.
Yeah.
They had no business being in the playoff. They only made it because their offensive line was that good.
I think
And
the
now
la-
they have that offensive line in the Super Bowl.
I think the last offensive line that even could come close was Aikman's offensive line with the Cowboys in the
Yeah.
early to mid
Larry
90s.
Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That was 92,
92 to 96. Like
That's a
that.
good point, Harry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those guys like Jason Kelsey still at this age, like you saw him like absolutely chuck a 320 pounder just because he knows how to use his leverage. Like he's not that big.
No.
And
You want me
Lane
to give you-
Johnson, the
You want me
numbers
to
on
name
Lane
drop
Johnson,
for you, Martinez?
Yes.
yeah.
So I was talking to my man Brian Urlacher yesterday,
Oh,
and he was telling me about how good Kelsey is. He's like, that dude, he's a bad man. Like about how like coy he is with the way he. But he was saying like Kelsey is like legit, like the
One of the best centers of all time.
yeah.
yes, like
Okay.
his whole the what he was basically he was like, yeah, that dude, he's sneaky the way he gets on you too.
Mhm.
Like that's
And he can run.
difference maker. Kelsey,
So,
Yeah.
so I take it you think the Eagles are winning this game?
35-21.
Wow, blowout.
I don't
I
think
said
it's
34-28 the other day. That's
Wow.
I had the 49er game, I had 31-17. I didn't think that game was going to be close. I feel as soon as this game, I said, well, I will give this caveat that I thought Cincinnati was the best team. I thought Kansas City of the three teams was the third. I think their roster, their 53, I think is the weakest of the AFC. Buffalo, Kansas City, and Cincinnati. I thought Cincinnati was the best team, but their offensive line got hurt, and that kind of changed the game. They're not going to get the same pressure against the Eagles' offensive line. I would
Cincinnati's
hope
D
not.
would have given the Eagles more trouble.
Cincinnati, yes. Well, their offensive line's a mess, so I think the Eagles would have been all over Burrow with that
Yeah.
line. If the line's healthy, I think Cincinnati was the best team in the league all year.
Yeah. Well, I need the Chiefs to stay within 9 points.
I need 5-1 for my block pool, so 35-21. You know, the last time
I hate
the last
block
time
pools.
the last time the Eagles were in the block pool in the Super Bowl, I won the block pool.
Is that right?
I
Wow.
did.
Well,
How much
when
did
you
you
said-
cash in that
20,000.
5 years ago?
20 grand.
Wow.
Oh
When you said-
shit!
so you didn't do it every quarter? It was just one.
Once
the
they
final
It
scored-
was every quarter, but I hit the final score.
Oh wow.
Oh my god!
Jeez.
Did you get a Pat Egan bumper sticker after hitting that final score?
No, but I did meet Pat Egan for my first time the other day.
Oh, how'd that go?
He seemed
You
like a
don't get
nice
that
enough
moment
guy.
back, Mike.
Did you
don't get
claim
that
it?
moment back?
Did you claim that 20 grand on your taxes?
I split it with somebody.
Okay. Yeah.
We split the block.
So in
Okay,
other
but
words,
No,
it
you know
fell
what I
under the
did with the money,
threshold.
Harry?
What?
So, you know, I go to Philly spring training every year for the NCAA tournament.
Of course.
And that year,
Jeez.
I'm actually going. I already booked. And I go for the tournament. I go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'll sit at some random Clearwater Beach bar and watch basketball from noon to midnight. And that year, when I actually won my fantasy football league the same year. I had the penthouse suite of the nicest hotel in Clearwater for the entire week by myself.
Wow.
Wow.
Gets a
Yeah.
penthouse to be by himself.
It was fantastic.
My God.
That sounds like the best thing ever to me.
What do you
Right.
think all these trades in the NBA? I mean, you touched
Oh,
on
my
Durant.
God. Well, so Kyrie got traded
Yeah.
to Dallas. That started the whole thing. And then Durant, I said, after they traded, if I was the Nets, I literally would have just said to Durant, we traded you. Have a nice life. Like, I would not have gone out of my way to help that guy do anything. He absolutely ruined that franchise. He just created a circus in that place. And then they're trying to help him like go to where he wants to go. I would have been like, dude, we traded you for Jahlil Okafor in the Mexican League. Like, that's where you're headed, dude. You know, Jahlil Okafor is now playing for the Blue Coats.
In the
Is he
G League.
really?
Yeah.
They traded for him the other day.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. So he's on the Blue Coats. They were trying to get Nerlens Noel.
Oops, sorry. I have this video of Egan
in
from the
the
Super Bowl
world?
that Nahagian sent me. I'm going to play in a second.
Oh God.
I could have sworn I saw Nahagian the other day, but I don't know if he's down here.
Oh,
yeah.
he's there.
he is.
kidding me?
Is he?
He sent me
didn't see
this video of Egan. So here, I'll show you this video. He runs into Egan at the Super Bowl because Egan's out there with the John Kincaid show,
Right.
and
John Kincaid, by the way, gave me a Cuban cigar yesterday. Very nice gesture.
Really?
wow,
Wow.
well, there's got to be a motivation behind that, Gil.
Yeah.
You don't just hand out Cubanos.
Was it a Cohiba?
What is
He
it,
had
Mikey
a
Mesh?
box, and he had a box. He said, "Take whatever one you want."
Wow.
Wow, they're paying him too much money then.
Jeez.
All right, so Nahagian's Big Boss Nahagian
Mm-hmm.
sent me this video of Egan, and here it is.
Girl, I love you. I write your name on the bottom of my shoe. Ooh, ooh. It's a size 8. I would never, ever, ever hate you. Ooh. As I write your name on the bottom of my shoe, I'm thinking of you, of you, of you. Ooh, 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 ooh. Bottom of my shoe.
What
Who's
a
the
jerk-off.
other dude?
He's one of the guys that works for Beasley.
I mean, what happened to that kid?
Yeah,
Good content.
yeah,
It's good content that it made. Oh, geez.
yeah. Well, you're on.
Yeah, well, I would not have approved that. That would
Yeah.
not have gotten on the air had I been the producer of this show.
Yeah, we need a producer, Harry. Not
We
named
Wait,
Pat
was that
Egan.
down here?
Yeah,
Yeah,
That
that's
video
it.
happened down here.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's where Nahagian ran into
Those
him.
guys are, they're doing their show. It's like what, 4:00 in the morning.
right.
Ugh.
Well, it's 2 hours difference. So yeah, 4. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I can't imagine how many people are in that Radio Row at 4:00 in the morning.
No, that's not a good time. But how about Ben Simmons now being all by himself up in Brooklyn? How great
Good.
is that? Isn't that great?
Well, I have been accused of being like a Ben Simmons like apologist at times. I came to terms some time ago that Ben Simmons wasn't going to be what we wanted him to be, but I still thought he has deteriorated so much. It's unbelievable how sad this whole story is. Like
Mhm.
Ben Simmons, it's not sad because people think he's a jerk off, but it's just, I mean, how many times have you guys gone to a game early and just saw him sitting in the corner banging 3 after 3? I mean, I've seen him hit like 10 in a row at one point.
Mhm.
And the fact that he just refuses to do it, it's almost like he got to a point where I'm just not going to do it because you want me to do it.
Mhm.
He can do it. He just chooses not to. And to see what has happened to that guy, it's unbelievable. That's a 30. Like the Sixers' whole thing is a 30 for 30. His deterioration is now a 30 for 30.
Yeah, it really is.
Markelle Fultz is better than Ben Simmons.
Yeah,
Oh, not
that's
even close.
crazy. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
As Angelo could say, he's a loser. He just is. He's one of those guys that's just not a winner. You know?
It's a sad story, man. I mean, the guy's 6'10", he can dribble. I mean, he's
He's a freak.
He just refuses to play basketball as he's playing. I said he was so good. This is what people didn't understand. He was so good that he averaged 16 points a game somehow by refusing to shoot.
Yeah.
You got to be pretty darn good to be able to do that where everybody knows you're not shooting and you can still score
As a
16 a
rook.
game.
He did that as
Yes.
a rookie too in his first year where he actually played. If they're
You
sitting
don't
out,
make
Yeah.
third team all NBA or multiple all-star games. Like that doesn't happen. Nobody does that. The Sixers had no all-stars for like Andre Iguodala made an all-star game. It was like random. They don't have it all. He made 3 all-star games. It was third team all NBA. You
And he
don't
doesn't
do that by just absolutely being useless. And what he has turned to do, I heard during the broadcast the other night, they said in Philly he averaged 10 drives a game to the basket.
Yeah.
He's averaging 3 drives a game right now. 3.
Wow.
totally disinterested.
Wow.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
He's one of those guys that's got so much money now he just doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to that point where he was the night he played the Sixers, he's got some clown outfit. I said, when you watch what some of these guys wear, there's too much money. You when you're at the point where you're so bored that you're buying clothes that are like, hey, look what I have on. I have a Louis Vuitton freaking hockey jersey on. Like, come on, dude. Like
Yeah.
you're now getting paid too much money. We need to recalibrate what we're paying everybody in this world if you're wearing a Louis Vuitton hockey jersey.
I wouldn't mind one of those Arizona State hockey sweaters. I bet they got a nice sweater with the
The lace,
no the fork, the pitchfork or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
the logo.
it looks
They
like a
changed the
tuning fork,
logo.
Harry.
Yeah.
They changed the logo some years ago. They used to use the AS, and now they went with the pitchfork with the guy. You know,
Love the pitchfork.
who's out here? Bobby Hurley. No, Bobby Hurley. Bobby Hurley is he the no?
Yeah.
Bobby Hurley's the
Bobby
coach. out
Hurley's
here.
the coach for the basketball
Former
team.
Dookie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who? Oh, Sean Miller. He was at Arizona, but he's at Xavier now.
Right. Yeah,
Nice.
Arizona has the Gonzaga assistant, the guy that recruited all those players all over the world.
I was
The
saying,
great
is Lute
hire.
Olson still here? Lute?
No, Lute's gone.
Have you ever met another human being named Lute?
No.
No. It's a great college athletics name. There's always great names in college sports. Like
Yeah.
Brock Purdy is a quarterback, name.
It sounds like a porn star though.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy, doesn't it?
Lisa Ann,
by the
featuring
way,
Brock
so
Purdy.
you know who else I met out here? The woman and her daughter were here doing interviews, who are the creators of the Mr. Irrelevant Week.
There's a Mr. Irrelevant week.
Well, yeah, when Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant, they do like a whole thing for Mr. They have a parade.
Oh,
and
really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're so I guess ESPN like Sports Center does like a whole like feature on like the Mr. Irrelevant, and they did a feature on this family that created this Mr. Irrelevant week. They do a parade and they have like a thing. They were doing interviews this week, I guess, because Mr. Irrelevant finally was relevant for the first time ever.
That's so irrelevant. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, I could appear on that Mr. Irrelevant show.
I saw
That's where I
there's a guy.
into.
There's a guy. Did you see? There was this feature on SportsCenter about this high school football coach who's in like a mobile. He has no arms or legs. Did you see this guy?
I've heard about this guy. I didn't see it.
So he was on Radio Row yesterday, and he came in and interrupted my interview with Sean Merriman because he's from San Diego, and he recognized Merriman, and he came wheeling up to the table. And I said, "Dude, I've seen you on SportsCenter before."
Man, this is what we're missing, Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get that in the budget for next year to
Yeah.
go wherever the Super Bowl is next year.
Yeah.
Well, you don't even need a place to stay. You can just crash with me, apparently.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do.
Where is the Super Bowl next year, Harry?
Yeah, where
Do
is
you know?
it next year?
Vegas.
Oh, really?
Oh my God.
Vegas next year, and then New Orleans the following year.
Oh, wow.
No, it's just next year, and you're never going to make it to New Orleans because you're going to cash out in Vegas.
Right. Now, are you
Wow.
coming? Are you coming home on Saturday, or are you staying out for the game?
No, I'm actually after the show today. I'm leaving. We're taking a red eye tonight.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
then
coming home for the
is
game.
Mosher coming home too? I guess he has to, right?
Yeah, no, he already packed and left.
Okay.
Yeah, he's leaving. I don't stay for the game. I don't give a crap about going to the game. I want to watch the game on TV.
Me too.
You
Yeah.
pay attention way better.
Yeah,
you
me
don't
too.
need to spend
Yeah, I can't focus on a game when I'm at a stadium at all.
Yeah.
Although I was offered tickets to the game from this guy who used to own the stations that I work at back before it got corporate. He reaches out to me and he said, "I have 2 tickets to the game." I go, "Well, what are we talking about here?" And they're like $5,000 for 2 tickets, which actually is not a bad price.
No, that's
I
really
sold
good.
them in 2 seconds. I texted a bunch of people. Every single person said, "I'll take them." I sold them. I should have bought them myself and then resold
and mark
those.
them up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Come on,
it was-
man. What are you
It was
doing?
the 400 level, row 1.
Wow.
I looked on Ticketmaster. Those tickets for 1 ticket were going for like $6,500 for a
Yeah.
ticket. He sold me 2 for $5,000
Jeez.
but-
$5,000
gone.
each or $5,000 total?
Total.
for the pair.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should have bought those. And
I know.
when he's trying to sell those to you, you're like, dude, you used to pay me. You know what I make, and I'm not flush with cash like this.
Yeah, but he wins block pools and shit and
Yeah, he just
fantasy
win 20
football
Gs.
leads.
Yeah, and didn't
Yeah.
report it apparently.
Exactly.
Came up with some bullshit story that he split it.
That was the breaking news of this show.
Yeah, we'll have to put that in the clips that go out after the show, Harry.
Yeah, right.
Send that
It
to
was
all
in-
the ESPN stations.
It was in my Venmo, and the Venmo, they said they were going to start monitoring, but they're giving us another year before they start doing that.
Oh, is
Yeah.
that right? Okay.
Apparently.
Is that what all those IRS agents are supposed to do that were hired?
Like,
They're all
well,
on unemployment now.
yeah, like people on Venmo, it's like, "Hey, I got a pizza here. I'll give you the $12." Like, it's back and forth. How are you going to start monitoring everybody's
Right.
Venmo when you're just like, because it, like, you would go to a bar and you'd ask the poor waitress, like, "Hey, can you split it on 3 different cards?" Well, now one person puts it on the card and then you Venmo that person.
Right.
Went to a great craft beer bar last night, by the way.
I bet that's what I was going to ask you. Have you discovered any local IPAs?
Too many.
Did you get buckled last night?
No, because I had to get up for geez this morning. I said, I got to make sure I'm awake. This place called the Whining Pig.
Huh.
And I would say
I think I met her in college one night, late night at Players on College Avenue.
I figured I left the pause for
She
you.
was a
Marquita.
screaming peg.
Yeah. They was I was impressed. So I said, "Do you guys have food here?" And the girl says, "Oh, we have assorted grilled cheese and a meat and cheese platter." I was like, "That's not working." I said, "Do you mind if I order pizzas and get them delivered here?" And she was like, "I guess not." So we had like 5 pizzas delivered to the Whining Pig last night.
How was the pizza in Arizona?
The pizza we got was okay.
Yeah.
It was small, a small pizza for like $17.
Wow. Yeah. Well, it's probably like $10 when the Super Bowl isn't there.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. But they dropped it off to the bar. We had like all these pizza boxes on the bar. We were like the only people in there at the time. You remember, Harry? You probably might. You were there in Miami. So there was a guy in Miami. He worked for a radio station in Texas. He was dressed exactly like me the one year. Did you remember that picture we took?
Yes, I do. I don't remember his name though.
He was a Mike doppelganger.
Yeah, there was.
Both had the exact same outfit on the one day, like a maroon T-shirt and jeans, and so he was here, and he actually came to the bar and hung out with us.
Wow,
he is actually. You should get Colin Thompson tied up with this guy. He's like a YouTube savant. He knows, he left radio and started all YouTube and just monetizes and makes money on YouTube.
Is that right?
I'm going to give Gil huge credit out the door here because I just caught a glimpse, Harry. He is wearing a PC, Providence College Friars hockey shirt.
There you go.
And you know who played at PC? I'll give you a couple names because I worked at PC at the hockey school as a counselor for the great Lou Lamoriello, who was running the camp. Yep.
Yeah, see that?
There's the Friar, just like the Malvern Friar.
Yeah.
And Lou Lamoriello, obviously. But how about Chris Terrian, a PC Friar alum?
Wow, playing at the Dunkin' Donuts Center.
Yep. Yeah, I have an assortment of college tees from every college I've ever visited. I always pick up a tee. So I have just random people you go to Syracuse? No, I just visited there once. You go to Providence? No, I just happened to go there. Providence, we went to Newport, Rhode Island, and drove up to Providence for the day, and I got myself a Providence hockey tee.
I love that shirt. That is fantastic.
The only tees I have, I put in the ground.
Yeah.
Harry and I played at the old LPGA Classic.
Yeah, the ShopRite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, by the way, if you're on your way to Providence, you got to stop in New Haven and get the pizza.
Oh, yeah. It's fantastic. It's on my way to my sister's place.
We stopped at Mystic Pizza on the way up to a hockey tournament.
That's right. Where my sister lives. Yeah.
But when they talk about the pizza in New Haven, they're not it's definitely worth the trip, man.
Yeah.
Sally's Ibiza.
Right. And you got to play the Yale golf course. That's a good one, too.
I got a Yale tee, too, Harry.
Great.
Nobody's asking you if you went there, though. They can tell by looking at you.
Right. We know he didn't go there.
Yeah. He's working in radio. He didn't go to Yale.
Yeah, exactly.
You go to Yale?
Smart enough not to. Yeah.
All right, Mike.
I want to get a Harvard shirt just so I can say, people, you go to Harvard? Yeah. And I got a shirt.
I was there for the day.
Yeah. I swung by the bookstore.
Yeah.
Dude, have fun out there. Safe travels, brother. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks for doing it.
All right, boys. Take care.
All right. There he is. Mike Gill. He says a blowout. What did he say? 35, 34, 21 or something?
Yeah, I think something like that. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So,
35-21, I think Gill had.
Yeah.
Man, good on him.
Yeah.
He sounds like he's having the time out there, Harry.
I know. How about Mosher not having a place?
Squatter.
I'll tell you that Kaplan took the bed.
See, here's the thing. Kaplan's savvy.
Yeah.
There's not just a king bed in that room, Harry.
There's
been no eyes in that room.
Well,
he just texted Motion, said there is, so he could get the room to himself.
Oh, maybe. And
good on him.
Good on him for that, for getting out there early. But I'm telling you, the one we had in Atlanta was in this high rise downtown, and there was one bed, and it was a king size bed, and then the living room had like 2 smallish couches,
Mhm.
and Eitan stayed on the couch.
Did it have a fold out bed, like a sofa
No,
bed?
I don't think it did.
He scrunched into one of those
Yeah.
like 2/3 couches.
He hardly ever slept anyway.
No, he because he's doing his show the whole
I
goddamn
know,
time.
I know.
And if he's not, he's texting insane stuff that makes no sense to me. Let's tell the people about Fudge Kitchen, because that'd be something perfect to nibble on for the Super Bowl.
Exactly. The official sponsor for Not For Long Media and the OG's podcast, Original Fudge Kitchen, a staple of the Jersey Shore, 6 locations, Cape May, Wildwood, Stone Harbor, Ocean City. The Original Fudge Kitchen makes all of their fudge and sweet treats right in the store, guaranteeing a delicious product. So stop by and let them know that N4L sent you. But if you're not able to go in person, it's not a problem. They ship across the USA. Valentine's Day is right around the corner. It'd be a great gift. Be sure to check them out at fudgekitchens.com. The Original Fudge Kitchen, shipping fudge and sweet treats across the country.
There you go. Do you want to give a final play on this game, Harry? What's your final score? I had 30 or 34. I came up with kind of a weird number. 34-28 was my final for the game with an Eagle victory.
I'm going to go 31-27.
Okay, that falls right in your window too.
Yeah. 31-27 Eagles.
Yeah. What's like kind of your level of excitement for Sunday? I mean, Super Bowl is always great.
It
when
is.
Team's in it, it's a little different, but it's still great.
I don't go to parties. I don't do the Super Bowl parties and all that kind of stuff. I just sort of, watch it like I do any other game.
There's a lot less anxiety 5 years later after winning it.
Yes.
Like we were on edge 5 years ago.
That's true. And you and I did the parade day. That was pretty cool.
That was what, 5 years ago? I think yesterday.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah, because the Super Bowl's later this year because they pushed it back the extra week, and they weren't playing 17 games.
No, not then.
The year the Eagles won it.
This is just the second year of that.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah.
So.
I have a lot less anxiety this time.
Mhm.
And I just want to see players like Lane Johnson, Kelsey, all those guys win again, because I think this is the greatest Eagles team we've ever seen. I didn't see the 1960 team, so I don't know.
No, I didn't either. That was even before my
won the
time,
NFL championship.
Yeah,
the 1947 team,
Yeah, I think this team, for roster wise, is better than it was 2017.
I agree.
Yeah, I really do.
I mean, Foles went on a heater, but even a couple games prior to the going on the heater, he wasn't great.
Mm-hmm.
And the offensive line was obviously good in 2017, but this one's way better.
Yeah, the Foles thing. I mean, he was only good here that year.
Yeah.
Anywhere else he went, he stunk.
Yeah.
I kind of equate that with this Brock Purdy guy.
Yeah.
I think that he had that little window before he got hurt, unfortunately for him, and he would only be good with Shanahan, like in that window. Like if Brock Purdy goes on to another team, he's just going to be a backup, and you'll never hear from him again.
Yeah. He will not be a guy that's a good story. I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
And then you look at some of the guys that were here back in 2017. We mentioned Kelsey, Lane Johnson. You look at guys like Brandon Graham's having a great year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's been around forever, Harry. Is Earl Thomas still in the league? That was the thing.
I don't think he is.
They drafted him before they drafted, and that was the big threat, right? This
right.
guy's been unbelievable, not only on the field, but the way he conducts himself off the field.
Yeah, and then you got Hassan Reddick. I mean, that team back then had no
difference maker, Harry.
I mean, geez, they have 70 sacks as a defense or something. It's ridiculous.
NFL record, 75, I think it was. And Reddick not only gets sacked, but he makes big plays at big times.
Mm-hmm.
He is an absolute baller.
He wrecks the game.
He does. He just destroys everything that you want to do. And
just ask Shanahan. He wrecked that game.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he sent San Francisco packing.
Yeah.
With reckless abandon. There's no doubt about it. You want to tell people about Shots and Giggles if they're down in Key West? That'd be a great spot to watch the game. Is Colin there?
He might be. I think he had his football camp down there this week. So
Yeah.
it's time to migrate to the southernmost city in the continental U.S. That's Key West, Florida. Our friends over at Shots and Giggles have the go-to locals and wannabe locals bar in Key West. It's right behind Sloppy Joe's, right next to Tattoos and Scars Saloon, just off Green Street. Shots and Giggles is known for a relaxed atmosphere, cold drinks, and always having a game on any of their TVs. Steve and Hanya, they're the owners. They're based in Key West for over 18 years. They're big football fans. Steve is an Eagles fan. You'll see him in an Eagles jersey all the time. And Hanya, although she's a Commanders fan, she hates Dallas. So we got that in common. So when you're down in Key West this winter, stop by Shots and Giggles, hang out with the awesome bartenders, grab a drink to go from the takeout window, and watch some football. That'd be a great place to watch the bowl, man. How about that? It's the NFC East bar in Key West, Shots and Giggles.
Beautiful. Yeah, that would be a good spot. My spot is going to be on the sectional, Harry.
Yeah.
Are you in the chair for this game with the Lima as support?
No, I'll be on the sectional.
You on the sectional for this one? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you were a big chair guy when you had the ankle.
Well, that's when I had the ankle. Yeah, the stupid boot.
Yeah,
I was in the boot because I had to put the boot up on like the ottoman.
Yeah, and you had the knee scooter.
Right.
Which
right
was a
by,
big
right
help
by
to
the
you.
chair. I love that knee scooter.
I think you got a couple haircuts in that chair too, Harry.
I did.
At the time, yeah. You had
I had the stylist come over to the house.
Yeah, that's a nice job. That's a really nice job. All right, let's put a wrap on this, Harry. But it's Super Bowl week. Next week we'll react to whatever happens, and it'll be interesting. So, everybody, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Leave us a beautiful 5-star rating and review. I promise next week we will get to some of the reviews.
Right.
So we get a bunch that came in.
Good.
And we'll get to those next week. We've just been so busy with all this lead up to the Super Bowl. So, Har, enjoy the game, man.
Yeah, man. Go Birds.
Go Birds, everybody. Thanks. We'll talk to you next time on the OGs podcast.